It is July and it is the heat of the day. I waited to the absolute wrong time of the day to film this garden tour, but we're still gonna go around and check out what's going on. Looky here, even Zeus has found himself some shade in the green stalks. The green stalks are doing really, really well. If you'll look, I've even got some little bitty flowers here and some teeny tiny beans on some of these. So pretty soon, it's not gonna be long until this one is covered in green beans. And this one over here is doing absolutely wonderfully. It's wilting a little bit down here. These squash plants on the bottom, they just don't like the really, really hot heat. I am gonna water this in a minute, but they wilt a little bit during the day and then they bounce right back. But I have so many things growing on here. Y'all, these banana pepper plants, you look here. I have had such amazing luck with these banana pepper plants. I mean, we've been pulling off handfuls of banana peppers every day. And I have some jalapenos over here that are gonna start producing. We've got little jalapenos all over them. Oh wait, that one's a decent size, yeah. And then if you look right here, I've got little bell peppers, all the colors of the bell peppers. Here's some white bell peppers. But all hidden amongst here is bell peppers. And these baby Bubba okra. I told you I didn't know how they would do. Okra plants are really big, but this is a miniature variety of okra plants and it is doing amazingly well in the green stalk, and I really highly suggest these. They've got buds all over them, and a few, if we look in here, let's see, I already pulled a few okra pods off, but looky here. There is one right there. There is one right there. And many, many more that are going to be sprouting in the next few weeks. Then I have these lovely squash plants down here. These are my mini little grenade squash, and several of them are ready to pick. I don't have any of these on the bottom yet. On the bottom, this is Cocozelle. Those are full size on the bottom, and I'm not sure how they'll do, but I've got flowers on them at least right now. I'm gonna go ahead and water these, and while I'm watering, I'm gonna pick some of these. To water the green stalk, we just put the hose in this top bucket and fill it up, and you water until water comes out the bottom. It depends on how saturated the soil is, but usually it takes 2 bucketfuls for me. Let's see, let's pick some of these big old banana peppers while we're at it. And maybe even this jalapeno right over here. All right, that's a full bucket over here. Let's go on the green bean side. Crush those beans. And that one's full. So back over here and let this one fill up again, and probably, oh, yep, it's already starting. I don't know if you can see that from there, but it's already starting to come out the bottom. I'm gonna spray it a little bit just to cool off these plants. Like I said, these zucchini plants, these squash plants down here, just are really struggling in the heat. They really don't like to be hot, but they do perk back up really, really quickly. So that's been nice. But just give them a little bit of a cool down in this heat of the day. And then we'll keep on going with this guy. The green bean plants have been a water hogs this time of year. All right, let's go check out the big garden. And if you're new here, this garden is 100 feet by 40 feet. And we are in Oklahoma and in zone 7B. There are some really exciting things going on in the garden. It's gotten off to a slow start. Everybody's garden right around our area has gotten off to a slow start. We had several late freezes and then we had some floods, and it's just kind of lagging behind. But everything seems to be healthy and coming up now. So even though we got off to a slow start, thankfully we have a really long growing season. We can grow here all the way until November 1st. So even though things got off the ground a little slower than I would like, they're still on track to be able to feed us this summer sometime. Now, I've had to replant some of these. These are our spaghetti squash. And we have had issues with the dreaded, infamous squash bugs. Those are in their little baby stage. They get different color. They get black when they get bigger. And really the only way to get rid of these, we're gonna try some diatomaceous earth, but just pulling them off and putting them in a bucket of soapy water and just physically killing them, scraping the eggs off. Look at how many there are. They're just destroying this plant. Yeah, this is the ongoing battle. And if you grow squash, you know this is the ongoing battle. It's the battle that keeps on warring all summer. Thankfully, it seems growing them up in the green stalk high off the ground has prevented some of the squash bugs, and I'm really hoping that that continues throughout the summer. But until then, we fight the good fight and we battle the squash bugs the best we can and just hope we get something. If you've been following along with us for a while, you'll know that Michaela has been participating in the Flower Hill Farm Grow Along, and her first rudbeckia bloom from the Grow Along is right here. She's got cinnamon basil growing from the Grow Along and these beautiful, beautiful pink Benary's giant zinnias coming from the Grow Along, and she is thrilled. She has her own little flower farm business going, and she's been selling at the farmer's market every week. And y'all, this girl has been working her tail off, and it's really been paying off. She's had a lot of fun. Over here, we have, looky, 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 growing up our trellis. These are little individual sized melons. Now, I have some Kajari melons and some rich sweetness melons. I'm not sure which these are. I alternated them, so one or the other. But I have a couple growing up the trellis right now, and I can't wait. And they already have blooms on them, so soon we shall have some yummy melons. Here we have a few little sweet corns. And if you see that brown hose in the middle, that's our drip irrigation system. I'll link to the video where we put in that drip irrigation. It has been really, really amazingly nice, especially in a garden this size, to be able to just, we actually have an automatic thing from our app that we can turn it on with. I'll link that also. It has just been so amazingly nice to be able to just hit a button and turn it on when we need to run it, and then turn it back off or schedule it if we need to. We haven't scheduled it so far because the weather has been so variable, and we've just kind of played it by how wet the soil was, and that seemed to be working for us. But when we get into the drier parts of the summer, which is starting now, it's probably going to behoove us to go ahead and schedule that. Here we've got some beautiful okra coming up. This is Clemson spineless, and it's not as pokey as normal just long pod okra. And I love growing it for that reason, because if you've picked okra before, you know how just itchy you can get at the end of the day if you're picking a lot of okra. So this is a really great variety for that. And if you've been following along with our garden tours, you will see, look what I have finally. My cucumbers are finally growing, and they should attach to the trellis really soon. This is a pretty huge victory for us because I love to pickle, and I had been heartbroken because my cucumbers just weren't growing. They kept dying. We kept having pest issues, or all sorts of things happened to them. Finally on this planting, success. So here's hoping they live and they make it and they produce a ton. Here we have some squash, and again, all of our squash is really having the issue of squash bugs. So I don't know how much more I'm going to replant, or if I just need to plant something else there. I may stick some more green beans, though it's really getting to the point of the summer where green beans are kind of failing because it's so hot. But we'll see. We'll trial and error and see what can go there to kind of give the ground a rest from the squash bugs. And over here are some Velvet Queen and some Mammoth sunflowers. These will get like 12 feet tall if they get their tallest. And also for Michaela, she's got these beautiful pro-cut sunflowers. Now, pro-cut sunflowers are one and done, but they're designed to be cut for bouquets. That one's a little older. We were gone for a few days, so it kind of reached its peak before she got to pick it. But they're lovely, and we have several more with blooms ready to go. Over here we have baby Bubba okra, and it's doing really well, but this is the same kind I have growing in the green stalk, and actually in the green stalk right now it's about twice the size as this. Then Rudbeckia. This Rudbeckia is really special to Michaela. This Rudbeckia came from our sweet friend Miss Kay. So she's way excited that it is finally blooming, and the transplants took. And over here is my first attempt ever at eggplant. And if you look here, look at this little baby frog eggplant. I've got several, and I can't wait to pick those. We have runner beans of all sorts, and they're gonna grow up this trellis. I have some that are already trellising. They love the heat, so this is gonna be a beautiful trellis in a few weeks. And over here, I've got sweet peppers, and several sweet peppers that are ready to go. These did really well. Once the deluge of rain stopped, they're coming back, and they're really, really hitting hard. And they're gonna be delicious. And a couple of tomatoes growing on this trellis. I've got some Brad's Atomic grapes that look like they're ready to pull. And these tomatoes, y'all, these are so adorable. These are teeny, teeny, tiny. They're called spoon tomatoes. Look at this. Look how tiny. That's fully ripe. And these are pretty prolific. They're kind of obnoxious to pick, but oh, how cute they are. These zinnias here, look at these beautiful colors. These are Michaela's from the Charleston Farmhouse Breeding Project. They're doing some really lovely things, and this is the Narwhal Zinnia pack, which was her open pollinated pack this year. And we got some really lovely varieties that she'll save seeds from. And of course, another one of the girls' favorites, we've got Aunt Molly's ground cherries. I'm actually gonna make some of these go inside because Michaela's not here to eat them before they go inside. And our tomatoes are doing pretty good. It is hot, 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 but they're still hanging in there. And I've got several ripe ones and a bunch that are on the way to being ripe. These are Romas. There's our baby duckies. They're not so baby anymore. Oh, it looks like they got stuck in. The wind blew the door shut, so Mr. Rooster and the duckies are stuck. We'll have to go fix that. Another trellis here that is starting to take off. These are rattlesnake beans. They're gonna be a delicious dried bean. And they're probably about 3 feet up on the trellis. We have several of them that are trellising and linking, so pretty soon they'll be all the way over. And here we have our edamame. And it really is taking off and producing amazingly well. And if you haven't grown edamame, it is delicious. So we like to salt it and then roast it or steam it, and it is delicious. You pop the beans out in your mouth like you would at like a Japanese restaurant or something, but these are so yummy. Woo! I shouldn't have waited till the heat of the day to film this because it is hot out here. And if you ever wondered about the power that one teeny tiny little person or one teeny tiny little creature can make, case in point, we have the tomato hornworm. In the matter of just a night or two, this tomato hornworm just completely stripped these plants bare. I'm gonna leave them on the ground on the off chance that the 1 or 2 leaves they still have might might cause them to come back, but my hope is small. But here you go. If you think you can't make a difference in the world, look at the difference a tomato hornworm makes in the course of 1 or 2 nights. And this is a little bit discouraging because these are plants that I've raised from seed since February, and it's now July. I babied them. But that's part of having a garden, is there's some great victories and there's also some really sad losses, and rolling with the punches and keep on keeping on because of all of the plants that I did raise from seed that are growing beautifully. That's the encouraging part. Looky here, once again we have this beautiful patch of Cupid Mixinias. Now I think these are discontinued at Baker Creek, but there's some other places you can get them. They are definitely worth your while. Just beautiful. And looky, all the way up and over, I have my first completely up and over vine on my Chinese noodle bean trellis. And I have several coming up, and the beans are already starting to hang over the edge. This trellis is going to be amazing once all of the vines are coming up and over and all these beans are hanging down from it. And because it's so hot, we're going to truncate this tour, but I wanted to show you the melon patch. A little wilty, but we still got a lot of melons coming up, a lot of sunflowers coming up. Here's our winter squash. Lots of little pumpkins and lots of little squash hidden in here. But look at these beauties. These are branching sunflowers, and oh, they are lovely. We had a few open last week, but it is like this week they all came out to say hi. And perhaps my favorite one, look at this Velvet Queen. Isn't she pretty? So beautiful. It's going to make such a beautiful bouquet for Michaela. She cannot wait till the farmer's market this week. Well, that's about all we have for today, or I'm going to wilt. But our garden's doing great. We've got some successes, we've got some failures, but that's all to be expected. Pretty soon, we're going to be harvesting and canning and doing all of those amazing things. Well, pretty soon. We're already harvesting, but pretty soon we're going to have enough to start canning, and that's going to be excellent. We'll put out some canning content, some canning how-to step by step. If there's anything you'd like to learn how to do when you're canning or preserving or any of that, be sure to comment below and I will make some content to go along with canning, preserving, all of those different things. August is really going to be our canning month. We're going to hit preservation hard because I'm going to participate in the Every Little Bit Counts challenge that Three Rivers Homestead puts on. And so every day we're going to be preserving a little bit at a time. So if there's something you want to see, you let us know and we will be sure to get that in our August videos. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for upcoming content. We are so thankful that you joined us today.